discuss what I consider the best chill out position for a Y4C class. And Donna is going to bend her knees and bring them to one side, and she can choose whichever side she wants. It can be one that she is comfortable with, or whatever she chooses is fine, because she's just going to be going to chill out. And then the arm that is closest to the mat, the one is on the mat, she's going to lengthen that out and bring her whole body, her whole left side of her body onto the mat. And then roll over onto her back. Good. Now, she maneuvered herself into the position that she liked, and centered on the mat, which is really important to be centered on the mat. But in any case, that's easy enough for most people to slide down their side like that and to get onto the mat. Easier than walking her hands back. And then ask her to bend her knees and let those knees knock together and widen her feet just a little bit apart. How does that feel in your lower spine?
Comfortable.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. Comfortable enough that you could stay there for any period of time?
Yes, I could.
Okay. And then open your palms towards the ceiling and chill. So this is what I consider the best chill out pose in the Y4C methodology. I don't ever encourage people to say, if you don't feel like making it, that you are needing some rest in class and you want to chill out for a moment, take child's pose. No. I don't give them that choice. Mostly because I think that for many of the reasons that we have discussed is that the abdominal area folded forward in child's pose, the abdominal area is so sensitive to potential kinds of side effects or live existing cancer activity. And it can be uncomfortable. It also is quite, claustrophobic. And the third thing why I don't use it is separates you from the class. Here, Donna can lie here and listen to what's going on. She could even turn her head from side to side and still feel like she's sort of part of the class. But for those three reasons, I think that child's pose is not the optimal hangout, checkout pose to go into. But I will demonstrate a child's pose on Donna if she will bring her knees into her chest and roll to whichever side she wants and push herself up to sit with her stronger arm. That if we were to do child's pose, and I would suggest, Donna, can you just slide off of the mat just a little bit so I can put this blanket down here, and and then if you, as you are seated there in your hero's pose, would you sit on the blanket like that? So her knees are comfortable and seated, but just want to point out one thing. Donna has the flexibility in her feet to be able to sit like that on the top of her feet. And obviously her hamstrings are long enough. This is not true for probably 80% of the world. So I'm going to ask Donna to bring her hands forward and lift her hips up just slightly, so I can slide a blanket right here on top of her heels and let her sit back down like that. Now, that might not be enough for her. I mean, there are, do you feel a difference in that, Donna?
Big difference.
Oh, so you like that better?
I do, actually.
Okay. And there's another alternative to that too, which some of you might have seen. Would you walk your hands forward again? would be to put a block in there, either high or on its lowest form. I'm gonna put it up high and then have you bring,
Even better.
even better.
Yes, I love this.
Okay, so that's good. That's a good start for getting us into child's pose. And then I'm going to add in, and we'll have to play around with this and do a little experimentation with the bolster. Oftentimes it's good to take a bolster and build it up so that Donna could come forward and hug that bolster like it's a big teddy bear. But I see a little bit of discomfort for Donna here. I didn't see that's probably not so. Donna, would you come on again? I'm going to build your teddy bear up just a little bit. And I'm also going to put this blanket right here in her hip crease. Okay? And then ask her to come forward again and hug her teddy bear. Okay, so what we're doing is we're building up a support for her in this very area that is not always, that hip crease is open enough to be able to fold enough. So we are supporting it with the blanket so that makes that fold a little less severe as it was when she came forward the first time. So now, Donna looks pretty comfortable there. How are you?
I could stay here for a while.
Okay, good.
Very
Good.
comfortable.
We like that. But she's talking to the pillow.
Okay.
And that is what I find, you know, if we are going to use this pose, and I don't say not use it, I'm just saying, you saw how much effort it took me for, you know, if you have somebody who's going to take a chill out in the middle of a Y4C class, you don't want to have to work with them this hard while the rest of the class waits for you to help them chill out. She got into that other knock-knee position by herself without any of my agency. Now, turning her head to the side is another thing. That's fine. She can breathe. She's not too claustrophobic. But when you're working with cancer patients and survivors, and you have them, some with compromised immune systems, and you put them in this pose, I mean, these are publicly used props. So I would say it would be a good idea. Another reason not to do child's pose, even well-propped as this, would be you'd want to have them have their own personal towel to put down on the props to just protect them from any kind of germ agents.
I was going to ask, could we take a picture of her?
Of course. Donna, are you okay to stay there to have a picture taken?
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
This is so comfortable